Tonight, I'm going to tell you about a man who really was a Catholic and a Nazi. And he undertook, in the beginning, he was offered a factory in Poland, in Krakow, a factory from Emalia, which was reproduced different pieces for cooking and things for the army. You know, I was told by somebody that one man could do what he did without the army and without any soldiers. He was born in Czechoslovakia and by a very poor family. In the 30s, as you know, the crisis was in Europe, people had no food, and the Nazi party raised slowly and promised all kind of situations that the Jews are taking away the jobs and so on and so forth. And you join the party and you will have everything you want. He joined the party, he became a spy for the Germans, a spy in Czechoslovakia in the town where he was born and lived in. And after the war, after the Germans occupied Czechoslovakia, they gave him honor to pick any Jewish factory in Poland, and that's going to be his, and he could produce whatever he wants. He was an extraordinary man. He did not come to Poland or to Krakow, like some people think, to save the Jews. He came in to make money. And money he made. Millions of it, because he had free labor. And goes to show you that one man could really make the difference. My name is Sam Wertheim. I am a Holocaust survivor. Although I don't have a number tattooed on my arm, the horror of the time is engraved forever in my memory. And those memories will haunt me for the rest of my life. The word survivor can have different meaning depending on the circumstances. For a survivor of the Holocaust, it means that the person has survived bodily, but not emotionally. It may seem that he has escaped, but he actually mentally imprisoned in and lives with the great emotional pain for the remaining of his days. Never can I reconcile myself to the fact that my family and all others of my faith were tortured, brutalized, killed, and sent to crematoriums. Never can I forget that those of us who physically survived were literally reduced to an inhuman state. While there are no crimes or sins that would warrant anyone being treated this way, the so-called crime of being a Jew condemned us to such a man-made hell. And it said commentary that this Grossly inhuman treatments of Jews continue while the world stood and watched. But ever during this time of heroic cruelty, of lack of concern in the people of the world, there were people who put a lie to the often spoken excuse that there was nothing we could do. There was nothing we could have done. So it was during this terrible time of darkness, a small ray of sunshine came to my life, and his name was Oskar Schindler. He was a shining star, a spark of hope in all desolation. Oskar Schindler was a German Catholic who had the moral fiber and strength to risk his life over and over again in order to save the Jews. And as a result, he became a godlike figure for those of us who were lucky enough to be in his care. He single-handedly saved 300 women and 800 men from the gas chambers of Auschwitz. I was one of the fortunate Jews who was picked to work for Oskar Schindler. He was a tall and handsome man. But when they first spoke to us, I was terrified and did not know what to expect. But his words were to us, "Don't be afraid. Whoever works for me will live through the war." Of course, I was skeptical at first, but somehow I believed him, and as time went on, I gained more and more faith in him. He was our Savior. We were close to him, we trusted him, and he became almost like a parent to us. Soon, people had courage enough to come to his life-saving request, and always try to help showing his humanity in process. One of his most courageous deeds occurred after he was detained and imprisoned by the Gestapo on charges of black marketeering. Upon his release and return from Berlin, he learned that 300 of the women of his workforce had been shipped to Auschwitz. He lost no time in getting to Auschwitz to rescue his Jews. Once they were there, he used his connections and his gold and diamonds to bribe the Gestapo in charge and managed to have the 300 women released, and he arranged the transport back to his factory. Once again, he proved himself to be a hero and a savior. I, along with other Jews whose workforce remained in the factory till we were liberated in 1945. And the night before the Russians entered the area, Schindler even distributed weapons for self-defense to anyone who wanted them. So I stand before you today only because of a miracle of God and named Oskar Schindler. I met Oskar Schindler again and again after the war, where he was the guest of honor of my wedding. He took the place of my late wife's father by giving her away in marriage. And that's the way I picture him today. He was under the chuppah, and he was very happy, and tears came from his eyes. So with Schindler's help, we survived. He saved our lives. And by goodness and self-sacrifice, he even saved our faith in humanity. But nevertheless, we survivors are not what we might have been, and we have not suffered the horrors of the Holocaust. Recently, I came across a quote from a concentration camp survivor in the book Against All Odds. And I think it says best that many like myself feel. A survivor will go to a party and feel alone. A survivor appears quiet but screened within. A survivor has many guests, but the one he wants most will never arrive. A survivor will go to a funeral and cry, not only for deceased, but for the ones who were never buried. A survivor is completely at ease with other survivors. Thank you, and God bless you.